So today we're going to be asking the question, are store-bought plants worth it? Well, let's start with a few of the pros. Everyone knows the feeling of starting a new grow season with a freshly prepped garden, the anguish of waiting the first few days to weeks, waiting for your seedlings to sprout, just to have them not take or all die off. Well, store-bought plants can help with instant results and a good-looking garden to start the year. You can get faster and easier fruiting and flowering, which can lead to an increased confidence to grow more plants and variety. Well, it can't all be pros. There could be some downsides. Nobody likes to waste time or money, and while store-grown plants can do both. Most know that store-grown plants could cost sometimes upwards of triple the price of seeds, and the plants do not always make it, depending on the plant. You could be spending lots of time on taking care of the plant, and lastly, you may not always know what was used in the grow process. Now that we have some pros and cons out of the way, we could talk about what I think some good store-grown plants to start the year with are. To start my grow year, there's three main plants I like, and those are basil, cilantro, and jalapeno peppers. And the reason I like to start with those three are all different and the same. So to start, I like basil because it looks and smells great in every garden, and it takes very well in almost every soil I've put it in so far. The other one I like to start with is cilantro, and that one does all right in most soils I've put it in, and it just looks good, and it's a really good confidence booster. Another one is jalapenos, and those look good, and they could fruit pretty early, and they could be a really good confidence boost to your gardening, making you want to plant more and just, have more plants in your garden. I also wanted to go over a couple of plants that I like to put in the ground that yield some pretty fast and satisfying results. The first one is beans. I love beans. They grow everywhere I've planted them, and they spring up very fast, and they grow moderately well. They're a good vining product. Another one that I like to do is watermelon or pumpkins. Those also sprout pretty quick and fast. And then the last ones I like to do are onions and garlic. I think that they all grow very good in most conditions, and they can be very satisfying to see just sprout really early. You don't got to really worry too much about it. Don't have to give them too much care or attention. They just kind of grow, and those got to be my top three. So I think in conclusion, if store-bought plants are worth it, is gonna have to be a yes and a no. It's all just gonna depend on a couple of different factors, ranging from available time and space in your garden and how much money you have available. These plants do cost money, and it's not always worth it to go spend extra money on a plant that might not make it, or that you just, you might not like after it's grown or whatever. I personally do like store-bought plants. I have some herbs and I have some vegetables and fruits in my garden. I also have helped my mother-in-law plant a variety of flowers inside of her garden, so I think it is worth it, and it just depends on your situation. Please like and subscribe and comment down below with any questions you guys have, and I will catch you guys on the next video.